Well, built off the idea that the selfie was the new autograph, the marketplace that lets fans buy personalized video messages from celebrities exploded to new heights in 2020. Cameo notched an impressive 250% jump in fans clamoring for videos from stars like Snoop Dogg, Brett Favre, and Tiger King's Carole Baskin. Sales more than quadrupled as well to near $100 million last year. So join us now for more on that is the CEO of Cameo, Steven Galanis, joins us right now. And Steven, I would actually fall into that New Year's Eve category. I paid $69 for a birthday message from Sinbad for my brother, and it may have been my best purchase of all last year. But I wonder where the explosion in 2020 came from, you guys. Is it more a Cameo driving awareness, added celebrities, or just people at home desperate for connection?
Well, first off, Zach, thank you so much for the purchase. I hope your brother loved it. Cameo had a crazy year last year, as you can imagine, but really it started on the supply side of our marketplace. Suddenly, every single athlete, actor, celebrity on earth found themselves unemployed, and Cameo was the best way for them to connect with their fans. On the flip side, you probably weren't able to see your brother in real life because of COVID lockdowns. So sending digital love through Cameo was a great way to wish him happy birthday. And again, we just feel really fortunate that on both the supply and demand side, we saw massive tailwinds last year.
And Steven, we were discussing this in our meeting this morning. Who have been the top performers on the platform? Kevin from The Office, somebody a lot of people are familiar with, doing really well on the platform as well. But how have you seen the types of celebrity, the types of people who are really gaining traction within Cameo? How do you think that has shifted during this pandemic?
It's interesting. There's a lot of new faces if you're looking at who were the best people in 2020 versus 2019. As a good example, if we had done this interview exactly a year ago today, none of your viewers would have known who Carole Baskin is. And in half a year, she was able to, be a top 10 talent on Cameo. But for us, Brian Baumgartner crossing $1 million net revenue to him, being the first guy to break that milestone. For Cameo, that was kind of our man on the moon moment. And I think a lot of celebrities that weren't on Cameo prior had always felt like the money wouldn't be meaningful. And I really think when you can start making somebody over $1 million a year, that's where no matter who you are, this feels like this could be worth your time.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the use cases for all these things too, right? And you guys added kind of that more business enterprise model. So if companies want to start tapping into some of this for marketing materials, you could do that too. It was interesting though, on the Carole Baskin front, there was a request for her to talk about one of these penny stocks we've been talking about on the show. Didn't seem like she knew who the request was from or where it came from, but it was kind of a request to talk about a company out there. And it raises questions. I mean, what does maybe Cameo have to worry about in maybe protecting some of the people on your platform around that, maybe things that they don't know enough about in some of these requests, since they're doing a lot? What are the stopgaps there?
Well, number one, when you talk about the market, and I'm a former trader myself, so I've watched your show religiously for a long time. But you think about all the crazy things happening in the larger markets, whether it's Wall Street bets or Elon Musk tweeting out about random cryptocurrencies that were started as a joke. Like, we're in this very interesting age right now with retail traders coming into Robinhood. So again, look, I think that particular video you're talking about that caused the stock to explode, that penny stock, this is just another cultural meme that I think is happening all around us. And it's just another evidence of the rise of the retail trader.
Steven, how are you thinking about the future of the company right now? You've clearly got a much bigger valuation now than when you started. And I ask this because we have seen so many companies that have found alternative routes to come to the market, not through the traditional IPO route, but through a SPAC, direct listings too, but especially SPACs. In as a private company right now, does that make you maybe sort of flirt with the idea of going public, given that SPACs are so hot right now?
Look, my dream has been to run a publicly traded company my whole life. And I think Cameo is the type of name that would really resonate with these same retail investors that we're talking about. It's a product that people love. I can't tell you how many times I get DM'd on LinkedIn or on Twitter from random customers asking when they can invest in the stock. I would like us to be public as soon as possible. The rise of the SPAC is definitely an interesting new vehicle that could potentially, help get us or any other company there quicker. But at the same time, we're going to make the best long-term decision for our business. So as we're thinking about, different routes to the public markets, whether that's through direct listing, the traditional IPO process, or the SPACs, as a CEO, it feels like there's more options than ever. And we're excited about the reception that a lot of the companies that are coming before us are getting through their IPOs this year, especially different marketplace businesses like Cameo.
Since we're talking Cameo, I just want to be clear. You said you watch the show religiously. For the viewers out there, we didn't pay Steven to say that, so that was not a cameo that he just gave us there. But when we look at how much money you guys made in 2020, talk to me about where that growth was coming from in terms of users, demographics you're seeing on the site, because it sounds like it wasn't just more people coming to the site, but also people spending more. And I wonder if that's because these celebrities are able to charge more, or whether you're just seeing people buy more cameos.
One really interesting thing we saw in the early days of COVID was business was actually driving up, not by prices rising on the marketplace, but actually by talent lowering their price to give their fans a break. So many were out of work last year. And again, lowering a price, I think we saw AOV cut in half in March, April, May. And then as we started getting more and more notable talent on the platform, like really established people like Mandy Moore, like Mike Tyson, what we saw was that prices started to rise as a whole new caliber of talent started to enter the marketplace. So from our perspective, we really saw the drive in AOV coming up is really a supply side tailwind that we saw by getting more established people like Drew Brees on the platform last year.
So Steve, how do you build on the momentum that you have built up over the last year? Do you stick to what Cameo has been doing all along, or are you sort of thinking of other services, other offerings that you can provide here now that Cameo's got this big platform? There's so much attention on it.
I think it all starts with delighting your core customers on both sides of the marketplace if you ever want to expand. So one of the values at Cameo is fight for simplicity. And for the last 4 years, we've resisted the temptation to start doing other things that we think could distract from our core. The larger vision of Cameo has always been to build the marketplace for people's time. For X amount of money, we believe a fan should be able to pay to do Y activity with Z person. And this year, you're going to start to see Cameo start experimenting with some of these new Y activities. In addition, we are also starting to invest more in our B2B vertical. Last year, we saw the rise of TikTok, and a lot of companies wanted ads that they could put on TikTok. People were going to people like Brett Favre and trying to pay $400 for an endorsement for their car dealership's President's Day sale. We talked to people like Brett. We found that they would want to make commercials. They just wanted to charge more money. And our B2B business was actually the fastest growing business at Cameo. It grew 1,000% year over year with 0 people working on it. So we think there's great opportunities to invest in our B2B vertical. We think that there's a couple new product bets that could be really interesting to help build out the marketplace for people's time. And then international is another focus for us as we think about 2021. Last year, we sold Cameos at 178 countries and in all 7 continents. And this year we hope to further accelerate the growth all around the world.
Steven, just to clarify, when you talk about activities, what specifically are we talking about? Are you looking to get into events or allowing celebrities to maybe organize and book events on the platform?
In the longer term vision, these are all things that are on the roadmap, but most immediately, the next product you'll see from us is called Cameo Calls. And this is a synchronous video chat product where any celebrity that you like on Cameo could go live and you could meet them for a 2-minute FaceTime, just like you would at a VIP meet and greet or at a fan convention.
Okay, well, we look forward to the developments. Hope to have you back on the show. Steve Galanis, this CEO of Cameo. It's good to talk to you today.